Hey, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering 90 Day Fiancé. I've gone ahead and combined episode 12 and 13 because they're both like the finale episodes. So I'm going to go over what's happening with the couples, and I have not watched the reunion yet. I'm so excited, so I can't wait to catch up what's really happening with the couples. But my gosh, this season's been a whirlwind, and I just can't wait to talk about it with you guys. So let's get into all the crazy stuff going on. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives in New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. Okay, so we pick up with Darcy. Now, in the last episode, Darcy and Tom left each other at the airport. He was very sweet with her, and he dropped her off. He gave her kisses and said he loved her. When he was doing the interview outside, he said, "I need to go back in there," and he gave her another smooch. And it was cute. It was a cute moment. He picked her up, and he said he'll really miss her. So she lands, she's texting him saying, "You've made me so happy." And she's actually meeting Stacy at the airport. Stacy, her sister, has just gotten back from Albania. And they've landed around the same time, so they're going to be headed back to Connecticut together. So if you remember, Stacy and Darcy were kind of fighting in Albania, and things are still kind of weird and intense here. Stacy's accusing Darcy of feeling insecure because, of course, Stacy is engaged to her boyfriend or fiance, but and Darcy definitely acted jealous. But I think they both have their issues, and it's kind of, I don't know why, I'm just kind of interested in watching them because they act nuts around each other, and that's kind of what Tom was saying too. But anyway, so she's telling Stacy, oh yeah, in the last episode, Tom gave her a box, and you think, oh, is he proposing? No, it's a key to his house. So she tells Stacy about it, and they're exclusive. He says he loves her. They're a couple. They're just going to see how it goes. She's nervous because the distance thing did not go well with Jesse. So then we're over with Akinyi and Ben. So he's about to leave for the airport. He's had a rough night. So if you remember, he did that bride price ceremony, and in Kenyan culture, that means that they're married now. So they were married, and they had a nice night together, but then she got upset because she found out he hadn't told his family yet. His point was, I don't want to tell them until I see them. Well, she didn't understand that. So apparently he decided to go ahead and text some of his family while still in Africa. And he said some have been supportive, others not so much. So they go to separate, or they go to leave. He goes to leave back to America, and he's crying, and he says he loves her, and he says he doesn't regret marrying her. So that's sweet. I'm glad that, so far so good. We'll see. I just can't wait till the reunion. I can't wait to see how this all turns out. Then we were over at Rebecca and Zied. So remember, they're in the Sahara. They have had some rocky times because she told him about still technically being married to her ex. Now, she did it in a really stupid way. She didn't really explain that in America that's a thing. You get, you file for divorce, and it takes some time before you're actually divorced, even though you are separated. And she tried to explain it. He signed it. Anyway, they've worked it out. That's good. They're trying to spend this last time together, and he explains he almost ended things. But then now he's just trying to work it out. So he took her to this nice place. They're having a nice dinner, and they brought out some chocolates. And it's just a cute chocolate box here. So she thinks, oh, that's nice. He's gotten me some chocolates. It's Tunisian food. And so she goes and she does like I would. She didn't even see the ring. She just ate the chocolate. And then he's like, hello, look down there. And she's like, oh, what's that? And it's a ring. So if you remember, she was upset because he borrowed money from her. Well, it's for the ring. But then he kind of surprises me anyway and says, I didn't actually spend your money. He says, I want to buy a ring for you. I never touch your money. My sister gave me the money for this. That's so sweet. So he didn't even spend her money. He borrowed money from his sister for this. So she's super happy and excited. I don't know if it's about the money. I assume it's about the ring. But she says she can't wait to bring him to America and to marry him. So again, can't wait for the reunion. I can't wait to figure out how this turned out. But they seem really happy. So good for them. It was a sweet moment. I was happy for her because this is what she really wanted. So now we're on to Angela and Michael. Don't I sound just like her? It's her last day in Nigeria. She says the trip to Nigeria is paying off. That's her words. She's such a mess. She wanted to make sure she could trust Michael before she starts the visa process. So it's so weird. They fought most of the trip, but they're ending on a good note, so she feels like she can trust him. She talks to him about coming to America. She says, we can buy us some four-wheelers and a land and a kid. Wow. She says, it's a heavy task. I'd be lying if I said I'm not worried. It's all about this kid thing. She's like, I got a nice uterus. I can tote it. It just grosses me out so bad. Anyway, so they're leaving on a happy note. She tells him before she goes, stop lying. Stop following women on social media and stop being sneaky. And he promises. Again, these aren't red flags at all, right? Right before you get married. Hopefully the next time I see Michael, I will be making our wedding plans. All right, let's go over and talk about Avery for a minute. Avery. Oh, God. She makes me want to bang my head against the wall. She's the 19-year-old that thinks she has her whole world figured out, that everything should just work out fine. Okay, so she went to the attorney in the last episode, and he basically tells her, yeah, there's a travel ban, so they deny visas from those kind of countries. There's less than a 5% chance of that getting approved. And also, if she tries to go live with him in Syria, yeah, then they won't consider that a hardship that she's not living with him, and they won't grant it. So she's just really not knowing what to do. She's trying to tell him this. She says, do you think you can be away from me for a few years? Do you want to be married to me? And his answer, I don't know. It's so tough to be away a long time. That's what you want your new husband to say, right? I don't know. He says, I give up about America. She says she wants to be with him. Where could we go live? They talk about Dubai. I'm like, how? How are you just going to pick up and move to Dubai? Like, isn't that a really expensive city? I really don't know much about it, but it seems super fancy and expensive from what I could tell. So how's that going to work? If we make the decision, we make that decision for good. She's worried about leaving her family and says she's extremely close to them. It'll be a hard decision. And she's scared that she and her husband will never be together. Okay, let's get to the really juicy parts of this episode. Back to Darcy. All right, so Darcy is saying, as she primps and puts on makeup, because, you know, that's what she does, I've been back home a few weeks and adjusting and not being with Tom 24/7. Now, before she left, he told her, babe, this is going to be a really busy, I think he said 10 days, where it's going to be hard to get a hold of me. I apologize in advance. You have to understand it's my busy time at work. Well, she needs all the attention all the time. She says when she left, she felt so loved. Now he's hard to get a hold of. I feel ignored. I love him, and I thought he loves me. So it's very tense when she's FaceTiming him. She asks what's been going on and why he's been so busy, and I miss you. I haven't heard from you. And he says, in fairness, it hasn't been great. And turns out she's been calling him at 4 a.m. and sent him something like 50 text messages, according to Tom. He talks about her calling during business meetings, and when he can't talk to her, she texts him nonstop. And he's saying, what's the point? At this juncture, I prefer to be single and to be your friend. If you meet someone else that can give you what you need, I'll be happy for you. She's like, oh, he's throwing it all away. I don't know what I did for him not to love me. Bitch, he just told you. Sounds like you were smothering him, and he was already skittish. I'm not saying he's perfect. He's no prize. But my gosh, like, he was warning her beforehand how busy he was going to be, and now she's shocked how busy he is, and he can't talk to her. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So that sucks. She ended up talking about Jesse some more and saying the same thing happened with Jesse. They dated for 2 years, and then it faded away, and she's in the same place now. And on to the most shocking part of this episode. All right, let's talk about Cesar. Cesar got back from Mexico 3 weeks ago. Cesar has been talking to Maria since about a week after he got back. That's not the shocker. I kind of figured that was going to happen because even when she left him, he was making excuses for her. So he's reminding us that he's been in a 5-year relationship with her. Never met her. She keeps breaking things off just in time, but he keeps sending her money. Producer asks her how much. Yeah, like $2,000 or $3,000. He says he can't remember. Holy shit. So then she's now talking to him about booking a trip to Cuba. Sure. He's like, I'm going to have to work really hard and save up so we can go to Cuba. Because, that'll make her show up. Mexico didn't, but Cuba might. Okay. Then you guys, I literally typed in my notes, holy shit. I cannot believe Maria is a real person. She's 28 years old. She lives in the Ukraine. This whole time, I figured it was some dude. And, maybe he used pictures of his sister or something. I don't know. But I just assumed it was a dude. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that Maria is actually a person, that it's supposedly her name, that she lives in Ukraine. It's just crazy. Now, she's still scamming the crap out of him. She's straight up saying they're not exclusive. She sees several guys. The producer tries to get her admit if she does this to multiple people, and she plays very coy, and she's like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, when they ask her things like, are you planning to see him? She says, I will not tell you. It's a secret. Oh, okay, Maria. You are totally on the up and up. I just can't believe she's real. I knew she was a scammer. That's not the shock. It's just I really thought this was seriously like some dude's cousin or something that he was just like, hey, make a video that says, hey, baby, and I'll send it for you. And then he's collecting the money. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm just shocked. She has drinks with her friends, and she's saying she met somebody in Dubai. So she's doing this to lots of people. She's saying, he can't start being rude to me. It was all his fault. Talking about Cesar. Cesar's a hopeless, insane person, but I don't think he was rude to her. He's been sending her all this money for so long, and she gladly takes it. And whenever he tries to pin her down and get her to commit to something, she can't do it. Oh, it's so crazy. They ask her, how much money has he sent you? And she's like, I don't know. I'm not an accountant. Okay. According to him, it's like $40,000. Well, and now he sent a couple thousand more, so now really, who knows? How crazy is this? My mind was just blown. I can't believe she's real. And I can't believe he's still so stupid. I don't mean that mean, but I'm saying he's acting so stupid for her. He's still wanting to meet up with her. He's still convinced that this will work out. I don't know who's crazier. I really don't. Oh, Cesar. I really want to see this reunion. I really want to talk about it. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. What an episode. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see what's up with the couples and find out what's going on. So good. It's been such a good season. I'm so glad we started here because this is my first dip into 90 days, and I freaking love it. I love it. I love talking about it. I can't wait to see all the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Oh man, so many thoughts. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment below. I love reading your comments. Find me on Patreon. You can support the page that way. You can find me on Twitter at Real Recaps. And again, I just appreciate everything. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.